What is going on, everybody? What is going on to the beautiful world of planet Earth and the pavement world? Man, we're here with Adam Wellman. I'm here with Adam Wellman, Maintenance Inc. And I'll tell you, I've known Adam for quite some time now. That's for sure, and we've built a really cool relationship. But I want to welcome you, Adam, on the show here today, and hopefully we can talk a little bit about what's going on in this industry right now with the challenges and adversity that kind of the world's been presented with, and hopefully we can help some people really get some direction and understanding of where things are pointed here. I know there's a lot of things taking place right now where we're pivoting to essentially deal with the circumstances at hand, and sometimes you do need to pivot and readjust your coordinates a little bit. But I know that you and I had a chat recently, last week I believe it was, where we really just were on the same page with where things are going. So without further ado, Adam, welcome, man. Tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I'm the National Sales Manager of Maintenance Incorporated. So we deal with everything from contractors to suppliers. So I'm dealing with people all over the country and talking to all types of people in our industry and learning a lot about what's going on. And I'm seeing a lot of people that are a little bit nervous to, get out there and start working. They're afraid to spend the money right now. I've just been trying to keep everyone positive and explain to them that, hey, yes, this is a new challenge for us, but we're going to get through it. Our industry has definitely seen challenges before, and we've been able to come right through them. The biggest fear I see is people wanting to put stock in the and it's going to be rough for the contractor if you don't stay stocked up and keep everyone going.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on with you on your end. I mean, you're getting, obviously, people are reaching out to you. You're building machines. I know you're building a lot of sprayers or AK300s and 550s and stuff. And, tell us a little bit about what your vibe, what your feeling is from the, the pavement professionals that are out there coming and reaching out to you. What is your, I guess, let me ask you, it's kind of two questions in one. Where was it 2 weeks ago and where is it now? So let's go back to
2 weeks ago. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I was traveling the country, seeing all my stocking distributors. So I was all up and down the East Coast, down into Florida and everything. And the vibe was awesome until about halfway through. And the media was really hitting hard on the COVID-19. And you could really see a huge difference from the beginning of my trip to the end of my trip of people were nervous. A couple weeks ago, we were 8 to 10 machines deep to be built. Since then, we've had 3 put on hold. Didn't cancel the order, but put on hold, which is understandable. This is like the worst time of year for a lot of this to happen because a lot of guys are coming out of the winter and they still have their payroll and everything that they got to keep going. So I can definitely understand a little bit of apprehension to spend a lot of money right now. But I'm seeing a lot of positivity through the guys that they're telling me, once we're allowed to work, it's going to get crazy. And the biggest issue we're going to see, not only on my standpoint, but your standpoint and every other company in the industry, is once that dam breaks, as you quite frequently said, we have to be ready because everybody in this industry, they're going to want everything that they need yesterday. And that's going to be extremely hard because if we don't stay stocked up, for instance, in our industry, some of our suppliers are not deemed essential. So once we all get back to work and get rolling, we'll see a little bit of issue with raw materials possibly. Not at this point so much, but once that influx of new business hits in, we could see it. But I'm seeing a lot of optimistic people out there, myself included. I see this as, something that's just temporary. It's something that we're going to weather. and we need to all work together to figure out, certain things like calling your supplier and letting them know, what to expect. That way we can tell our suppliers what to expect. If we're all going through this in the dark, then we're going to have a huge issue when it all comes to light, because it's going to leave us all handicapped because we didn't foresee, this contractor having 40,000 gallons worth of work, so it's really kind of important to stay in touch with your suppliers to let us know. We can do our best job to contact everybody. But as you can't contact all of your customers at once. So that's something we need to see. But on a good note, I've seen a lot of contractors through the parts business. They're getting their machines up and running, and they're fixing them now. They're preparing for what's coming, and that's a good thing. I've got people buying parts constantly.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, on our end too, we're experiencing the same thing. So right now, there's a lot of interested there. They're buyer intentions, right? So there's a lot of people coming in. We're getting more inquiries now than we ever have.
Yes.
And there's a lot of these inquiries that are coming in. So as our sales platform that we work with, where we basically, we do a lot of profiling to make sure we keep our customers information so that we can communicate effectively with them and provide as much value as we can to them. And keeping connection as we put out new content. We want people to get this new content to hopefully help them. We've done some stuff in the sales area on our website, right up at asphaltkingdom.com. At the top, it says COVID-19 and information there, and things you can do right now during this I'll call it the pause period, where yes, there's certain areas we can work, but there's other areas that are on lockdown. But during this pause period, it doesn't mean that pause means that you need to be mentally and physically paused. It means that you need to be, your business might be on pause from a operations perspective, from a service offering perspective. But when it comes down to actually being proactive to load your plate and get going here, there's lots that can be done. Not only can there be lots done there, it's like what we're noticing is that a lot of companies may not have the accounting systems and the modern day technology access that they should be connecting to really tune their business, so that when the dam does break, which it's going to happen, business is going to flood in, especially our pavement industry. Like the pavement industry will be flooded. There's going to be government spending. There's going to be a lot of the private sector that's going to be doing it. National accounts are going to be rolling. The reality of it is the paving industry, is going to pivot slightly towards maintenance, because we're going to see that property owners are not going to be paving as much because of budget restrictions and so on, that only gear it towards asphalt maintenance. And so, I've certainly spoken with like the Callaways at K&L Industries, and they've said that they've pivoted their business to really focus on asphalt maintenance here, and they haven't dropped their revenue goals. They've actually increased them. All they did was change the direction of where they're going. So going back to the database that we have with our customers and new leads that are coming in, there are a lot of people coming in wanting to get going here and getting the quotes and getting prepared. What I'm trying to explain to a lot of our customers, and tell me if it's the same from a supplier perspective, if we don't have some kind of forecasting as to what we need to set up for, we're going to be on back order, and we're going to be sold out. And we want to be able to truly provide the customer experience and get them what they need to go make money, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where we're sitting right now. I have a lot of distributors across the country that, like I keep saying, it's understandable. They're a little apprehensive to buy, but I just tell them, you don't have to order it from me right now. I'm not shipping it to you, because nobody knows. A lot of our business, when it comes to our stocking distributors, is a 30-day, net pay. So they don't want to sit on a 30-day net pay for 60 days and not be able to sell it. Totally understand it. I'm in the same boat with buying materials. But what I'm explaining to them, give me an idea. Give me some sort of idea of what you're going to need, because you're going to need it at some point. There's no doubt about it. So let me get you on the board. I don't have to make it, but let me get you on the board, because it's going to give us an idea of what we're going to need. So I can call my suppliers and they can take care of me from there. So yeah, we're seeing the exact same thing. It's all in how you deal with it, and it seems like you and I are doing about the same thing, keeping it so that we don't want to run out of stock, but we're bound to if we have no sight of where everyone's going, because you can't move minds, so that's why I say, a lot of contractors need to contact their supplier and just give them a forecast, what they're thinking. Because I mean, even in the tank business, and the equipment, I've got guys calling me, asking me lead times on 550s because they want to buy another 550 because they know they have the work. Now they just don't have the time to do the work. So they're going to put another 550 together so that they can go out and get another crew so that they can service their customers. So there's things like that going on as well. It's all in preparation. And right now, we don't have enough information about all these lockdowns to do anything. But if you have work on the books that you have to do, let us know about it, so that we can better guesstimate what exactly we're going to need as a supplier standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, as you're going through these times right now for everybody watching, as you're going through these times right now, you may be in a situation where you're on lockdown and you're unable to work. But I know that your mentality isn't like, okay, well, if this is lifted, let's say in May or June or whenever it's lifted, May, let's say, when it is.
Let's stick with May, Judd. We don't want to. Yeah. We don't want June.
For sure, we don't want June. But I totally get you. What I'm getting at here is this: people are not thinking about, oh shit, I only have 2 months left to make money. It's I've got to stack March, April, May, June, or whatever, March, April, May into June, July, August. Yeah. So if you're going to stack the work in those months, you don't want to lose what we've just got, because I'm telling you, property owners and managers, facility managers, they will be spending money on asphalt maintenance. Guaranteed. We're getting called constantly right now about it. So we have a lot of national accounts that are calling us right now talking about maintenance. What we're trying to do is we're trying to help our customers and our team members to understand that you need to tune right now. And that tuning of your business is crucially important. So if you're operating from a Google sheet and you're putting out proposals through like a Google document where it's taking you 30 minutes to push out a proposal, and you're needing to get 60 of those out a day right now, or whatever that number is, just realize that technology is all at your fingertips right now. I did a recent Facebook Live with Lee Kuhn. Mm-hmm. And if you go to our YouTube channel on AK, you can see two of the videos that were recently posted. But use video, like this video that we're doing right now. Use video to communicate with your clients, do the proposals. And I'm not talking residential market. Residential market, I understand there's a lot of face-to-face there, but you may have an existing customer base for residential that you could be calling or sending emails to with a little video note that says, hey, Rob, just touching base. We're here and we're getting all our schedule ready here for May and getting things rocking. Want to put you on the list, get your booking in, and let's get you started. For commercial work, this is a numbers game, everybody. If you're going to hit your goals, you need to know what your goal is going to be by if you want to go to, let's say, October 1, November 1, January 1. If you're going to do that, set your goal. What is your average price per job? And then find that conversion rate. What you'll then be able to do is determine how many number of calls that you need to do that will trigger proposal requests. Those proposal requests will have a conversion rate attached to them. That will yield you a number. That number that you get literally tells you how many proposals you need to be pumping out daily. You can't do it if you're on a horse and buggy. It doesn't work. You have to use technology at your fingertips right now to be able to make that happen, right?
I do agree with you, yes.
And also, like, if you don't have a website up and running that's tuned and optimized with Google My Business on it, if you go to Asphalt Kingdom, that top banner, it says COVID at the top, the COVID-19 one. down on that page, it teaches you how to set up Google. So Google My Business, it'll teach you how to set it up for your business, and you'll get more local search through Google My Business. So that's really important. If you don't have that set up, do those things, right? You want to figure out ways to generate more leads for yourself and ultimately drive you closer to that goal that you're setting. But now is not a time to sit here and watch the pressure build on the dam and then get washed away. The goal here is to have the right setup, the right structure, so you can manage this flood that you're about to move into from a work perspective.
Yeah, we as a supplier, we're not sitting idly by. We're trying to make sure that everything is up and ready because we see it coming. And I do agree that you're going to see less paving going on this year. I think you're going to kind of go back to a few years ago when we were in a recession and everybody switched to the pavement maintenance. We saw huge numbers of sealer sales, crack filler sales, and everything like that in that time. It just really surged. Over the last few years, we've had a really good economy, and we saw a lot more resurgence into the paving. So I think for at least this year, we're going to see a huge, huge amount of sealer sales. It's just going to be a wait and see. I'm hoping it's May and not June. I hope you didn't curse us good.
No, I think we're going to be good, man. I know. Listen, there's a ton of states that are working full blast right now. We've got, just to give everybody a little input here from our side at Asphalt Kingdom, we have orders coming in right now. Our order volume is up from where it was last year for the same period. So that's a good sign. It's a good sign. It's a good sign for us. Yes, we're doing well. But the reality of it is it should be a signal to, the contractor market that's out there, to asphalt paving companies, like the asphalt maintenance area and supplies in the asphalt maintenance demographic here are picking up, and this volume has not cut off. Our phone line, like today, even on Good Friday, by the way, happy Good Friday. Yeah, man. And, even today, orders are coming in, and it's a very, very good sign. So, we're seeing, what's interesting is we're seeing a lot of people getting their equipment and waiting on some supplies because they're starting to think about the equipment maybe going back on back order. If you don't have the equipment, you're in big trouble, right?
Yeah, you are, because like I said, we're pretty deep in orders right now. Our biggest issue as a manufacturer is some of our supplies aren't deemed essential for building the tanks.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, certain things just trickle out, and I'm going, we need to order that. And then I call them and they tell me, oh, we can't get that. We're shut down. So yeah, we're seeing that. We have everything we need to build now, but that's my dog.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's everything looks really good. Like I told you, I'm seeing a lot of guys maintaining their equipment right now, which is perfect timing. Just get everything maintained, get it ready. Cause when this dam breaks, you don't want to be broke down, because you've already lost 2 months, possibly. You don't want to lose any more.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have your truck that you want to take care of. You get your trucks, your fleet, your equipment. You want to make sure that everything's tuned and ready to go, right? You don't want to be changing brakes and tires, 1 week into this rush.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a steel coating tank that's clogging up and that your strainer baskets are all gummed up and, your tips, your guns aren't prepped, then. So I think really there's almost a checklist that should be gone through from at your office. Sit down and write that checklist out. It might be something good for us to work on, a checklist, but that checklist is so crucially important, and that's for the service side of the business. Then there's the financial side of the business. Are you using an accounting software? Is that are you processing credit cards? If you're not processing credit cards, do you have Stripe, for example, or what are you using? Do you have a POS terminal, a wireless terminal that you can carry around your job sites for processing credit cards? Do you have ACH set up on your website to be able to maybe collect payments through wire transfer, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to keep going on there, but the reality of it is your financial pod tuned? And then is your marketing pod tuned? Are you truly doing what you need to do from a marketing perspective? I've seen quite a few people in the USA Steel Coaters group and the Asphalt Seal Coating Coalition with Kevin Alfred's group there. And I'll tell you, I've been seeing a lot of people saying, very uncertain whether or not they should spend money in marketing. And I understand right now money is tight, but the reality of it is, don't think of it as spending money. You really want to be investing money. In your business, if you're spending money, it's a problem. You want to be investing, because investing has an ROI, right? And so think about the things that you're doing for your business, and is it giving you that return? Kevin Alfred came up with he had a great comment, which was, there's a percentage of every job that goes back to the maintenance of their trucks.
Yep.
There's a percentage that goes back to the operations side of their business. And that's something really, really important for us to consider. I know there's a lot of new guys getting involved with the business, and there's a lot of seasoned pros. And what I'm seeing certainly through technology in these social media groups is you've got a lot of pros that are sharing with the new guys. And that's all in an effort to really enhance or increase that industry standard, bring it up, move it up. And so congrats, everybody.
Yeah, that's a great thing that everybody's learning from each other. I mean, I'm on that too, and I watch, guys ask a question, and I'll see guys answer questions. I go in and I try and help answer questions on equipment. But yeah, just trying to stay tuned with everybody. It's pretty cool.
It really is, and I think the other thing too is that this is something Kevin had said as well, which was. We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility in this industry. And when I say we, I'm talking about everybody watching this. Anybody who sees this, if you can share this out as well, that would be a huge help in getting this word out. But we've got a responsibility to this industry. We're in it. We're the bloodstream of this industry. And for anybody who owns a small business, anybody who owns a medium-sized business, somebody who owns a company that's a national company, what I really would advise is to share and to help each other, to really pay it forward, because the goal is to improve the industry standard. It's not to suck it down. And so, if we all work towards doing that, I believe that it will become a lot, more of a bright place, so to speak. There's a lot of facility managers, a lot of property owners that I speak with who are very concerned about hiring a contractor because of something that happened in the past. Mm-hmm. And with them, and that could have been a quality issue, it could have been a service issue, whatever it is. But there's a lot of different areas that you can really step up your game from a customer experience perspective to really give your client the ability to not just have a great quality finished job, but also the communication, right? The way that you're communicating with them, the way that you're presenting a proposal, the way that you're presenting the industry. And that's a responsibility that we have. And there's no reason why we in the industry, everybody watching, can't be connected to the right tools to be able to deliver a professional finish. And if you're just starting out and you're just going to do your very first seal coat job and you're going out without actually connecting, like I'll give a shout out here, Roland McCarthy, he's never done any asphalt maintenance, but I'll tell you, he's active in the groups. He's asking questions and people are answering. And he was just on the Blacktop Banter with Marvin on an interview. And like that's a proactive individual that's really looking to step up his game because he doesn't want to be somebody coming into the industry and doing, one, poor quality work, and two, be seen by other people in the industry as somebody who's sucking that industry standard down. And so that's my advice to everybody watching here right now is, yeah, the dam is going to break. It's going to be very, very busy. But right now, it's your time to muscle up. It's time to get your game really going here and turn on your shit, if you know what I'm saying. Like, that's what needs to happen now.
Yes, I agree 100%. 100%.
Yeah. If you had some advice for, people who might be feeling a little down right now because they're on lockdown and there's no money coming in, what would be maybe that one piece of advice to them right now? I know we've shared a lot here, but is there something maybe emotionally, is there something that, that you might want to share from your end to help people kind of get out of that slump?
Oh no, just have a beer and enjoy yourself.
We have, what is it, 80, 1 in 80? I said this morning on another live, but like 1 in 80 trillion chances of being here. We're already winning, man.
Yeah, exactly. So just enjoy yourself and have a beer, and don't worry about it, and everything's going to be just fine.
All right, I've got an awesome question. Thank you, Amy, for the reminder, because I was supposed to ask this earlier. What products do you see selling the most this year?
What products do I see selling the most? I see a huge additive season in the fall. It's going to be highly needed, even though it's just not only for cure times, but I'm going to see us trying to drive as deep into the fall as possible to keep all the work or get all the work done. I also see crack sealant. I'm selling a bunch of crack sealant right now. Guys that are preparing because it's something that doesn't go bad, and they don't want to see a shortage of it. Obviously, I believe that sealer sales are going to be through the roof. And the problem with the sealer sales is going to be keeping it in our tanks, because everybody's going to need to get everything done at once. So that's another issue. But yeah, I'm seeing a huge additive season coming, just because I see everybody having to drive deep into the fall to get all the work done. And I see guys that are I'm seeing what I think is going to be guys trying to push Mother Nature, to an extreme. If it's going to rain later, let's just dump more additive in it and let's get it to cure out and get on to the next job. So I'm kind of seeing that happening, and my stocking distributors aren't too worried about putting additive on their shelves. It's the other things that they're worried about right now. So I mean, I've sold truckloads of our additives, so they're seeing it as well. They're seeing that this is going to be needed, just because guys are going to flirt with danger a lot more this year than they ever did, just because they need to get the work done so they can get the money to feed their families, pay their bills, pay their employees. So yeah, I see additives as a huge one. And I also see parts, because these guys are going to be running their equipment into the ground trying to get everything done, and it's going to break. So I'm seeing that as potentially huge things.
That's awesome. Actually, Amy mentioned that for a reason, because when I told her that we were hopping on, she was actually adding all of your additives to our website at asphaltkingdom.com. So all the additives are right on our site. I know that's a huge plug for both of us, but listen, at the end of the day, Adam and I and our whole team at AK, and I know Maintenance Inc., we have a great marriage together. We get along really well. We have a lot of fun, a lot of good time. You always support our customers. Huge props to you. And I really am excited when we sell your guys' stuff, because I know that the quality is going to be delivered, that the actual time of deliveries are quick and effective. So thank you for all of that. The other thing too that's really exciting, I think, is that crack filler topic that you were mentioning a little bit earlier, which is, I'll tell you on our side, the crack sealer. I mean, crack repair is the #1 repair in asphalt maintenance. It's #1 most in demand, and it's also extremely profitable. And you also don't need a huge crew to do it, which is, if you're thinking about, certain areas where you don't want to be out with big crews because of the situation, then you don't need to be a big crew. You could be a couple guys out crack sealing and really get a lot done in a day. You could get a lot done in a day. I'm watching guys going out right now and making 10 grand in a day with a crew of 2. They lay up a crack sealer, and that's pretty impressive. You don't need to be a team of 6, 7, 8 guys to go and do that. So maybe you're marketing a bit towards crack repair.
Yeah, and you can also, you'd have to check. Everybody would have to check with their local authorities. But I know that some of the crack filling has become essential because it's a safety issue at times. So it's something that you can get out and do right now. But you'd have to check with your local authorities to make sure that's okay. But I know in our area it's okay to do, but for some reason sealers not. I don't know why. But a lot of our contractors are getting out and getting their crack sealing done, so that at least they got that portion done. So hopefully they can just come in and spray it with their sealer later. So that's another bonus. So yeah, crack filling I see is going to be big.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what parts do you think, like when we're talking about parts, what kind of parts for somebody's spray system, if they have an air operated spray system, what should they be doing right now with their air op systems? Maybe from a, top 3 things to look at or fix.
Oh, the first thing I would do is obviously make sure that your rig is clean, because you don't want to waste time on that. When this all happens, you got plenty of time to clean it right now. And then I'd recommend, put some water in it and let's spray it, see what's happening. Make sure that pump is working. Make sure your hoses aren't clogged. Make sure your wand's good. Because that's
dry.
Yeah, just dry run it with some water, and just go out and spray and just make sure everything's up and running. The biggest thing I'm seeing right now is rebuild kits, because guys are coming out of winter. They might not have stored their equipment quite the way they should have. Their pump froze up, they fired it up. That diaphragm was brittle, busted. So I'm selling a lot of rebuild kits for that. Obviously, I'm selling a lot of hose, because that freezes up, your sealer gets stuck in there. So, I mean, those are all main things. Make sure your compressors are, the oil's changed in both. Fire those things up, get them running. Make sure all your valves are open, operational. Make sure all your lines are clear. So when you're running your dry run, open your recircs going back into the top. Make sure those are clear. Just act like it's a normal day at work. Just do it with a little bit of water and make sure everything's up and running.
Yeah, those are great points too. Like dry rot too, like on the rubber and stuff, on the hoses and all that. Look for piercings and those kind of things, or weak points for sure.
That's why I always say water, because if it does flow out, you're not going to make a huge mess. So I always tell guys to dry run with water, one time at least before. It gives you a peace of mind too that everything's running good. Because
absolutely,
the last thing you want is to go out on a lot and have a hole in your hose and fire it up, and there's a Mercedes sitting there, and yeah, that's the last thing.
Have you been there before or what?
I haven't been there personally, but I've seen it. Yeah, I've had a customer come into me like a bat out of hell, because he had sealer all over a Mercedes and he wanted oil flow, and I'm like, oh, that's not going to work, my friend. It was a white Mercedes too, and he was going to try and put oil flow on it, and yeah, that would have just turned that whole car green. So yeah. He wasn't too happy that I couldn't really help, but there wasn't nothing I could do. He should have got it to the wash and cleaned it up, but yeah, that was a rough one.
Awesome. That's great, man. Also, one thing to add, I think, just before we rock out is this branding. Like, I didn't mean to wear this stuff here, but like the reality of it is I have it in my closet. It's a brand. I'm carrying it and everybody's seen it, right? So here's the thing, everybody, make sure that your branding game is rocking too. We on our YouTube channel at Asphalt Kingdom, we do have a branding area that we had done an interview with Alex Lucic on, and basically go through the branding. I'm sure most people watching here see Alex Lucic, black and yellow pavement. He's done a tremendous job branding. That interview was awesome. So while we're here and we're preparing for that dam to break, step up your branding game as well. Look professional. Make sure you have some t-shirts ready. And if you can't buy 50 t-shirts, buy 5 or 6 t-shirts and get started. At least start to trend and keep that momentum towards building constantly to the best version of yourself and your business. That's something so important, guys. I see a lot of people out that are just, they're wearing different t-shirts, cut off t-shirts, no shirt wrapped. Like, you want to present yourself professionally if you're going to be a professional. And that's, I say, put the pro in what it is that you're doing. Put the pro, and it just takes a little bit of an adjustment. Branding, your website, your social media, your truck, your decals. It could be a magnet temporarily, but brand yourself, and that's important. So, yeah, man. What do you have planned this weekend?
What do I have planned? Well, I'm going to probably look at these walls, I guess, because I'm not allowed to really go anywhere. I have some whiskey and a little bit of beer, so I'm probably going to grill something and drink a little bit. And
sounds like a good weekend.
Yes, and you can't ask for more. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, man, it's it's forward, right? We're not going back. It's here now. Enjoy, and we push forward every way we can, man. I just really want to thank you so much for like all the time and energy that you put into this industry. And I know you go out of your way. You invest into people. Like, I watch you do it. I watch you speak and go out of your way. I watch you do it with our customers. And I just want you to know on our behalf of our whole team, thank you so much. And on behalf of the industry too, I'm going to speak for them, everybody on. Thank you for all you do, man. You're awesome, brother.
We're in it together. We're all a team.
Awesome. All right, Adam. Well, listen, man, thank you so much, and have a beautiful weekend and a good Friday, and looking forward to catching up here probably over the weekend or on Monday with you like usual.
All right. Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
See you, buddy. See ya. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still on.